Hello and welcome to another day on Cornwall Pocket Farm, where I try and figure out how to live sustainably on 300 square metres in the city. Today is the second video in my series about creating a vintage inspired capsule wardrobe. Today I'm going to go a little bit more into what I've decided to build into my wardrobe. I want to show you the fabrics that I've bought and other ones from my stash that I'm actually bringing into that capsule wardrobe as well, and what the general outline of the thing, what it's going to look like essentially, what are the pieces in that capsule wardrobe. I will be doing further videos on each particular piece or sort of outfit, if you like, because it's too much to go into in one video really, but carrying on from my last video where I sort of covered the broader theme, the idea, where I got the idea from, and the general concepts and the things that I've really come to realize are so important when putting together a capsule wardrobe. So if you haven't seen that video, just pop along to the video before this on the series and check that one out as well. It'll give you a little bit of a basic background on my approach and why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. First of all, I want to have a little bit more of a detailed look of the patterns that I found that really kicked off this idea of doing a vintage inspired capsule wardrobe. So having a look at this pattern, a few things became quite clear to me. So it's a weekend wardrobe, a mix and match weekend wardrobe. And what you can see is that there's a plain fabric there in pink, and then there's another plain fabric that they're using in a white, and then also a pattern fabric that has pink and white and yellow and some other colours in there as well. I mean, that was so fabulous in these days. I mean, you would get so many elements in one pattern. If you look at that, you're getting a full skirt, you're getting a slim skirt dress, I think it's a dress, a long dress, short dress, you're getting a top, a pair of shorts, trousers. I mean, obviously they're all based on the same patterns, couple of patterns if you like, but that's what makes it so interesting and so useful, is that they've essentially taken a couple of patterns and then done a whole bunch of variations with those patterns, and therefore they all go together. And you can mix and match them to make some very different outfits, really. I mean, if you look at, you know, there's a full length floral number there with what looks like a pink jacket that would go over the top of it, and then also you've got like a long sleeve top with a pair of trousers. That's in the same pattern, using the same fabrics, but obviously giving quite different vibes, if you like. So the other pattern, one of the original patterns that I found, was this one here in yellow and white. So again, it looks like a sort of a weekend wardrobe, but there you've got a pleated skirt, you've got what looks like a slim skirt, an A-line skirt maybe, you've got tops, you've got a jacket. The jacket has a collar and without a collar. Yeah, so there's a whole variety of different things, and I think there's a dress in there as well. So there's a whole variety of different outfits that you can make with those patterns. Again, you've got a pattern which has the yellow and the white in, and then that's coordinated with plain solid white and plain solid yellow. And the other thing to point out here as well is that if you look at the necklines, if you look back at the previous video I did, you'll find there that I talked about these 6 C's that are really important. And one of those ones was collar. Now my daughter actually said to me at the weekend, why wasn't collar and cut the same thing? But for me, I pulled out collar because I think that is really quite important, because that's what's tripped me up on so many things in my wardrobe at the moment, is that the collars don't work together. And when you look at these two patterns, the collars all work well together. They're essentially the same sort of styling, but the collared jacket quite comfortably goes over the non-collared top. And then this pattern was the one that really inspired me. It emphasizes the waist. I mean, this is obviously a 50s pattern, I would say, and the waist was very much a feature in those days. So, and for me as well, I quite like to accentuate my waist. So all of those shapes are basically coming into the waist, and that's another thing that I found really trips me up in my wardrobe. If I have something with a dropped waist, it doesn't really go very well with other things that have more of a waist. If I have something that has no waist at all, then trying to put a cardigan over the top that maybe finishes at the waist looks a little weird. So I think the key idea about having that waist as an anchor point in this particular sort of capsule, if you like, that's a cut issue, that all of those items basically come in and accentuate the waist. So then this pattern also I thought was quite interesting, because some of the literature that I found around this time was definitely talking about suits. I think I mentioned this last time. So what they mean by a suit essentially is that not a very formal sort of business suit as we would think of it nowadays, more of a soft casual suit. And in some circumstances, like that last pattern, the suit jacket is almost like a shirt, an overshirt if you like. So this document that I found online, I found was quite interesting. It says, find a print garment or scarf to tie the two solids together and perhaps add a third solid. If you look at the items in here, it sort of talks about the two-piece dress being that sort of shirt and skirt in the same floral print. And they said that, you know, if you wear this dress, you wear them together, it looks like a dress, and it's a wonderful wardrobe extender because you can wear that skirt with a different top, you can wear the blouse with a different skirt or trousers. You have a jacket that goes over the top of those, a matching red skirt that goes with the red jacket, you've got some black trousers, and all of those things mix and match quite happily into all those different outfits that you'll see sort of more on the right. So this sort of idea and all these multiple examples led me to the idea that of course you need to have a floral print or a patterned print, and then two solid colours, and those solid colours would be in the print that you have chosen. So in that essence I decided that the print fabric was sort of like an anchor fabric. You needed to find that print fabric first, then you could pick colours out of that print fabric and go and find those colours in a plain fabric. I did actually find another article which I haven't been able to re-find, which is a real shame. And it talked about having one of the main solid colours should be quite a reserved, sort of more of a neutral colour, if you like, such as navy or black or grey or one of those sorts of things. And then your second solid colour should be a bit more gay. And I thought that was absolutely fabulous. And of course you can see that in this image here, that the black is potentially that more sort of sombre, go with everything, more of a neutral. And then they've got the red, which is a little bit more gay. And of course, obviously using gay in the old-fashioned term that used to mean sort of jolly and happy and a little more playful. And so you've got that bright red, and then you've got that pattern as well, which you can contrast and coordinate with those other plain fabrics. And this was another example that I found that I thought was quite useful as well. So if you look at the top image, it's talking about a basic dress and jacket. It's saying you start with a dress and get a jacket in the same fabric, and then to get more use out of that you just need to have a skirt in that same fabric again. So that's three items in the same fabric. You see they're combining it with a print fabric. So they've got a blouse and a full skirt in a print fabric. So it looks like they extend this idea going further down. They've now added in a plain top, and then again you've got a skirt, a full skirt and a shirt in a different but coordinating print. And then further down they've added in some trousers in that print and a jacket. And that is what I am intending to do for my capsule wardrobe. Okay, so fabrics. What fabrics have I got? Well, this is my anchor fabric, my patterned anchor fabric, if you like. It's got a whole range of colours in this, so I can pick out any amount of colours, to be honest, to get other things to mix and match. So when I saw this, I thought it was really me. I really love the colour. As you can see, I do like a bit of green. And it also has in it, this really lovely plum colour, and then also some nice sort of blues. This particular blue here I quite like. So it's got a lot of colours, but certainly the colours that I wear are in this fabric. This is a really lightweight sort of cotton poplin. So I'm thinking that I'll do a sort of pleated skirt in this, and then a shirt, maybe a short sleeved or sort of bracelet length sort of shirt to go with it, to make the two items together will make a sort of shirt dress. And then individually, obviously, a pleated skirt and then a shirt that can go with other items. Then to go with that, I've got this plum colour. Hopefully this is coming up okay on the camera. This is a sort of mainly linen, I think, with a little bit of cotton in it. Again, quite lightweight, so should be nice and comfortable for summer, but not see-through. Well, certainly not, you know, it might be a bit see-through with the light behind it, but certainly not that I'm going to need to line it, I don't think. And then the other plain colour, again in this linen cotton. Now there's not as much of this because I've already made two of the items, which I'll show you in another video. But this, again, this blue, this goes rather nicely with this fabric as well. Hopefully you can see that. Now I know blue and red together might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I like it. I like sort of colour blocking, so I quite like those two colours together. And then also they will go quite nicely with this pattern fabric. So these are my three main suit fabrics, if you like. Apart from this, I've also found what I'm calling my wedding dress fabric. Now this is the fabric that I'm going to use for the dress I'm wearing to my daughter's Western wedding, if you like. So this, can I get the print the right way up? Is there a right way up? I don't know. So this is the fabric. It's a lovely, again, I think this is 100% linen. It's a lovely linen print, green with sort of blue in it again, darker greens, and nice floral print. And this one I am doing, let me find where is the pattern? This is the thing, where is the pattern? I've lost the pattern. Anyway. I will put it on screen because I can't find the pattern. It's in this sewing room somewhere, but I don't know where. I've got this piece of fabric, very unexciting. This is just a little bit of cotton poplin lining, basically, because this is the lining for the blouse I'm going to make for the sari. This is my sari. This is the fabric, the whole sari. It's got the most beautiful embroidery all on it, and it's quite sheer. So I need to make a blouse with a lining. So this fabric, this was the closest I could get colour match. It's not too bad. So this is going to be the lining of my sari blouse, which again I need to work the pattern out. And but I might use sort of one of the tops maybe that I'm doing for the capsule wardrobe, sort of use that as the base for this sari blouse. The wonderful thing about making your own clothes is that you do start to find out a lot about your own body because you're trying to get clothes to fit on your own body. Whenever I make anything, I always take an inch off the sleeves because I know that I've got arms that are an inch shorter than the standard, if you would like. My top half is quite small, but my bottom half is at least a size, if not two sizes, bigger than my top. I make most of my patterns I've got blocks that I have which are, you know, actually the basis of my patterns, and then what I do is I collect dress patterns from the charity shops, and they're usually about 50 cents or $1, and I will take features off there that I like and I will add it to the pattern that I'm creating from my blocks, if you like. I'll show you a little bit more about that in another video when we get further down the track, or how I do that. I'm obviously making summer clothes, and the clothes that I'm making are for general sort of wear, but also for my trip overseas to my daughter's wedding. So it's going to be summer. It's going to be variable temperature. I think we're going in June, so it could be cold and it could be warm, and that's why I want sort of layers to go over the top. If it's a really, really hot June and we're up at 40 degrees or whatever, I want to have things quite lightweight, but I also want to be able to layer those over the top so that I can be warmer if it's a chillier sort of day. So yeah, I'm making a capsule wardrobe which can deal with those conditions. I'm also going to be walking around cities and looking at things and hopefully having meals out in restaurants and those, you know, some lovely things like that. So I want clothes that are going to be suitable for that sort of activity. I'm not bungee jumping or tramping or any of those sorts of things. I do quite like a sort of a vintage inspired look. I don't wear full vintage type clothing, but I do like the cuts and the way clothes were worn and put together. I prefer woven fabrics and I prefer natural fabrics. So that sort of lends itself to this sort of vintage inspired sort of outfits anyway. I'm not big on sort of lycra and stretchy stuff and that sort of stuff. So so these clothes really quite appeal to me and the sort of things that I would wear. I'm going to make 3 suits essentially as the core pieces on my wardrobe. There's going to be the neutral suit, which will be in the blue, and that will have a top and a slim skirt and then a sort of an over jacket. Then, which will be an unlined over jacket, it'll be something more like a sort of an over shirt, if you like, something that is quite lightweight. That means that, you know, because if I'm going to have a short sleeve top, the longer sleeve will protect my arms from the sun if it's a nice sunny day, and if it's a little cooler it will add an extra layer for me. I'm also then going to make a suit out of my my red fabric, which is a little more gay. And with that in mind, I'm also keeping the suit is going to be a little bit more casual. So the blue one will be a little bit more maybe conservative, a little bit more formal, although not very formal. But the red one will be a little bit softer, a little bit more fun. And then I'm going to obviously make the patterned fabric is going to be a full skirt, and I'm going to make a shirt with that fabric as well, so that together it'll look like a shirt dress, and obviously that shirt then will go quite nicely with the other skirts. The full skirt then will go with the plain tops, which are going to be a little bit more fitted. So that's the sort of the base of my wardrobe. I'm also going to make a pair of trousers. I haven't got the fabric for that yet. I've got to really look through my stash and see if I've got anything that would work. If not, then I'll need to buy some fabric to do that with. Now, what I have done with the fabric is I have got quite an amount of fabric. So I bought 4 meters of the red and also the blue. That will make 3 items. That is one of the benefits of being quite petite, is that I can get 3 items of clothing, a skirt, a top and a jacket out of 4 meters of fabric. So yeah, that's definitely a benefit. So I've got 4 meters of the red, 4 meters of the blue, and then I think I got 3 meters of the patterned fabric because I'm only planning to make a shirt and a full skirt in that, so I think 3 meters will be enough. And then I also got the fabric for my my wedding dress, if you like. I'm calling it my wedding dress because it's the dress I'm planning to wear for my daughter's Western wedding. That dress is going to be Vogue V960, is it? Let me have a little look. 2960. V2960. Now, I have made this pattern before. I made it quite a number of years ago. I basically just went straight into the fashion fabric and it was a terrible fit. I have actually since looked online and a lot of other people have found it to be a terrible fit. I ended up cutting the bodice off and just actually making a skirt out of the bottom piece because it was such lovely fabric and I didn't want to waste it, but the top was so bad. I could not fix it. I could not retrieve it at all. So this time I'm doing a whole bunch of trials. I'm going to get the fit right and then make it with this fabric, and hopefully it will all work nicely. The other thing I need to make is the blouse for my sari. So when you buy a sari, it comes with a piece at the end of the sari which is called like the blouse fabric, and you chop it off and it's what you make your blouse, your matching blouse out of. Now I think quite often people get those sort of made by a tailor, but I thought, well, I make my own stuff. I will make that, and also I want to make it a bit longer than is normal because I'm not really comfortable having all my middle out. So I want to make it down to the waist. There's quite a lot of pieces to make. As you can see from what I've just been talking about, yeah, there's a lot of things to make, so I need to crack on with that. I have actually already been working on suit A, so I have almost finished the skirt on suit A, and I have finished the top for suit A. So I will show you those in another video already made and explain sort of what the look is. I'm actually now just starting on the jacket. I probably will film that because I'm actually combining 4 patterns. I think I'm using 4 patterns to make that jacket. So I will do a video showing you my process of how I combine a whole bunch of jackets together to make the one that I want to make to go over the things that I am going to wear underneath it. So hopefully that has covered everything. Let me have a look at my notes and see if I have actually covered everything. Ah yes, one more thing. I'm just looking at my book, and yes, so I was just actually adding up what I should be able to make out of that. So I was just doing a bit of a matrix. If I've got a top, a skirt and a jacket in suit A, the same in suit B, and then in suit C I just have the top and the skirt, I should be able to make 9 items with 2 different jackets that can go over it. Now a lot of this thing you'll see online where they count putting a jacket on and off, or even a scarf on and off as a completely new outfit. I'm not doing that. I'm actually saying, right, a top and a skirt is one outfit. So if I combine those 3 suits, I get 9 different outfits plus 2 jackets that will go over the top. If I add a pair of trousers and say another top as well, I'll probably take an existing shirt that I have. Oh, I'm not going to add that up. it makes a lot more. Yes. Maybe I'll put it on the bottom when I've done the maths on how many outfits that would make. Yeah. And then I've got my wedding dress and my sari. So that's what I'm probably going to be taking travelling. So hopefully I've got things that look quite smart that I can go out to dinner in, through to things that I can walk around the streets in or do whatever I need to do. Help my daughter put the wedding decorations up in her venue, those types of things. So yeah, hopefully that will all work. I just got to do a lot of sewing now, so I better get on with it, haven't I? Anyway, I will see you next time. The next video, I think, in this series, I will probably be looking at combining those patterns to make a jacket for suit A. Or I could be showing you what suit A looks like. I don't know. Anyway, watch out for the next video. If you if you want to follow this series and you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. Obviously it'd be great if you could like it and leave a comment and all those sorts of things as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas, because obviously I'm just making this all up on the fly and doing my own research. So if you've got some other ideas, then please do let me know below. It's always very helpful to have other people's opinions. I talked to my husband about it, but it's not a lot of use really. So if you do have any ideas, please do put them in the comments below. Anyway, I will see you next time. Goodbye.